crooked.
The best in the East came to town, and the Utah Jazz had the answer. The hottest young point guard in the NBA came into the town, and Keyonte George had the answer. Jazz beat the Pistons 131-129 as Keyonte George wins it and has 31 tonight. We're talking about it next on POSTCAST. David Locke along with Ron Boone tonight as the Jazz defeat the Pistons 131-129. I've got a million thoughts. I'll give you an open forum to start.
Well, my open forum or my open comments on this team was I thought it was well played. Even if the Jazz had lost this game, I still would have been pleased with the way they played the basketball game. We got before the ball game things that they were concerned with, and those things that they were concerned with, they put work into it. And so anytime your game plan works or you can see results out of it, you got to give the other team some credit for being good.
We opened up the broadcast tonight looking at the storylines. One of the storylines, can the Jazz play with the best in the NBA? They got blown out 19-0 the other night in Denver. They were down 25 at the end of one against the Thunder. They're down 23-0 against the Knicks. They were down 28 at the end of one against Minnesota. This is the number one team in the East, and tonight the Jazz played with one of the best teams in the NBA for the first time all year.
Yeah, and one of the reasons that I think the last time these two teams met, the Jazz lost by 6, something like that, and now they end up beating them in this ball game by a couple of points. So the fact that, yes, they did play very good against one of the best in the East, and as I mentioned earlier, this is only the second time this year that they've lost to a Western Conference team.
All right, let's dig in. There's a bunch of X's and O's to dig into. There's a bunch of big time, but let's just go to the big time plays. Keyonte makes 2 of them late. The steal, knowing that Karis LeVert is going to give it to Cade Cunningham, he anticipates, takes it the other way, and then the floater to win it.
Yeah, that was Keyonte, I think, being so much aware of what's going on the floor, something we probably didn't see last year. I mean, and then the bucket going to the basket, a little floater, just finding a way to get to the basket. We talk about his shooting and his floor game and all that kind of stuff. Do you think he's a little crafty now, the way he's driving to the basket? Again, I'm watching work out with Chris every night, and they work on those little simple things that he's doing in the middle. Eventually, he'll get better with his left hand going to his left from about 8 feet, 6, well, not 8 feet too far out, maybe about 5 feet, something like what we see Cooper Flag does. But otherwise, it's
the game winner is he's at the top. He crosses over to his left, goes left, and then he swings back through right, which is kind of his move. That's his way of drawing the foul. Nobody gets there, and he puts it up the right-hand floater from 6 feet out to win it. So, I mean, he went left here. He wants to go left and come back to his right, and he's beginning to find that whenever he wants it. Yeah, that little 5-footer and again, David, they work on those things. I mean, it's not by accident or luck that he was able to make that. I mean, it's a pretty good story. Chris Jones is this wonderful coach the Jazz have. He's young. He's 29 years old. They built a bond that in the first offseason when Keyonte went back the much talked about trip to go see Lauri in Finland. He then goes to the Paris with Chris Jones. Chris Jones is the one who goes to Paris with him to go to the Olympics. They're the ones who then Chris Jones gives up his whole entire summer also. That's his job. But Keyonte decides to stay here, and those two worked all summer long, and they have a relationship and a bond that has enough that when Keyonte goes to Paris, he trusts Chris Jones to be the guy who's with him. Yeah. And then also now trusts him enough and this is the one about Keyonte that I've felt all year. This is the first time since 7th grade that Keontae's been somewhere for 3 years in a row. And Keyonte is growing and building trust with people, believing in them, believing they have his best interest in mind. He was raised by Kristen as a single mom. He has not had a lot of male influence in his life, and he is now having these influences, whether it's a Will Hardy or Chris Jones, and then or him trusting Dr. Kimmons or Dr. Craig for his mental health that's been talked about a great deal. So all these little pieces are coming together, and he went head-to-head with what is the second best guard in the NBA so far this year.
The number one pick in the NBA, as a matter of fact. But one thing that we can take note of with Keyonte now, he's definitely improved his floor game. It's the way he sees the floor now and all that kind of stuff. But it's no accident that his shooting is where it's at now. anytime you hear coaches and players talking about, well, I got 500 shots up today or something like, David, you know how many shots that is?
It's a lot.
That's a lot of shots. And when guys are doing that, it's no reason if you have any kind of ability that you don't improve. And that's exactly what, he has so much confidence in wherever he's shooting the basketball on the floor.
Some of his plays early tonight were really, the athleticism was incredible. I talked to Chris Jones at halftime, and Chris said to us he's trying to use his athleticism going before their defense gets set. He came with an aggressiveness and a fortitude that was really special. Hits the game winner, has the steal. Keyante tonight finished the night with 31 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists, just 2 turnovers, going head-to-head with Cade Cunningham at 29 and 17. Cade was great, but Keyante matching him tonight. We'll talk about Lauri's game, Nurkic's block, some of the other aspects. Some play calling tonight was absolutely fabulous as well. But first, let me talk to you about our sponsors of tonight's broadcast, and started off with DoorDash. DoorDash, chance for you to get into your bag with DoorDash this year. DoorDash finds a way of keeping you in your bag the whole way through, whether you're watching the highlights, the tunnel fits, or your favorite player. DoorDash makes the entire season more fun because every player has their bag. With DoorDash, fans have one too. DoorDash keeps your snacks stocked, your gear fresh, your watch party vibes absolutely on point. There are nights when your team stresses out. Let DoorDash become your post-game therapy. Sometimes you just need dessert. Like now, I need dessert. Those late-night interviews hit and suddenly you need chips at midnight. DoorDash is built exactly for that. If the group chat says pull up, DoorDash makes sure you show up prepared. Snacks, cups, even a phone charger for a friend is always at 2%. From tip-off to overtime, stay in your bag. Order on DoorDash. Get snacks, drinks, gear, whatever gets you through, delivered right to your door. DoorDash in your bag all season long. And today's show is also brought to you by Rocket Money. Rocket Money. Get the unwanted subscriptions gone today with rocketmoney.com/locked on. Ever feel like your money just disappears every month? It happens fast. A few subscriptions here, an impulse buy there, and suddenly the numbers in your bank account don't match the sums in your head. Rocket Money helps you get clarity, track every dollar, stay in control of your finances, because managing your money shouldn't feel like a second job. Rocket Money does the heavy lifting for you so you can save more and stress less. Rocket Money finds subscriptions you forgot you were paying for and helps you clear them out. And Rocket Money automatically builds budgets based on past spending and keeps track without overthinking it. Take control of your finances. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/locked on today. That's rocketmoney.com/locked on. rocketmoney.com/locked on. Jazz win it 131-129. I want to talk play calling. Number 2 defense in the NBA. Number 1 defense in the NBA against pick and roll. Number 25th defense against off-ball screens. Number 26 against handoffs. And we saw the Jazz expose their handoff and their off-ball screen defense. And the Jazz ended up with an offensive rating tonight of a 123 against one of the best defenses in the league. Why did those work so well? What were the Jazz doing there?
It's all prep, and taking advantage of individuals out there on the floor. But I thought tonight, David, we saw some individual efforts by a couple of guys. And once you break the defense down, the draw and kick is there. Since the ball gets uncontested looks. How about Kevin Love? Uncontested looks there from the left side of the floor. So as much as the pick and roll is a part of everybody's offense, I thought something we haven't seen in quite some time, but with the Jazz was a lot of individual efforts.
It's interesting. They're so physical in what they do, and Detroit does. That's why they foul so much. And when you play pick and roll, their ball handlers up on the biggest. You're in just traffic. When they're playing off ball, they don't switch. And so if the Jazz set a good pick tonight, their guy had an advantage every time.
Yeah. And so, but the big thing is that as physical as they were, the Jazz played through that. I mean, the Jazz only shot 26 free throws. They shot 23. And we were expecting a little bit more of that,
Thank
right?
goodness we didn't get what we expected.
Both teams maybe go to the free throw line 50 times, but that was not the case. And maybe it had a lot to do with the officiating, but the Jazz played through it anyway.
All right, Ron, let's go to your pregame report that the Jazz really were trying to force them to beat him with a 3, and yet they went 18 of 37 from 3. Yeah. I mean, the Jazz tried to force them to beat him with a 3, and they came awfully close.
I find it fascinating that your game plan, okay, we're going to make these non-shooters beat you. And all of a sudden, those non-shooters start shooting the basketball well, and so it is something you have to change your defense maybe during the course of the basketball game, or switch on who you want to give up 3-point shooting to. Cunningham was one of those guys. You said he's not very good off the bounce.
No, he's very good off the bounce, not very good catch and
shoot. Okay, so
he still made some catch and shoots. Still made
some catch and shoots.
What do you think of him? 29 points, 17 assists.
I love his game. I mean, he's not like he's a ball hog or he's going one-on-one and all this. He just gets things in the frame of the offense. He makes his teammates better. And like I said during the broadcast, kind of reminds you of Jokic. He touches the basketball every time down the floor. So Jokic is a great passer, but he's also got the ball in his hands a lot to distribute the basketball to his teammates. I kind of see that in Cade, maybe not as much from the guard position as you see from the center position, but I'm very impressed with his game.
All right. I don't want to just kind of dismiss it. Lauri just dropped 30, 8 of 18, 4 of 7 from 3 against a really good defensive team. I mean, what's really incredible here is teams are just zeroing in on Keyonte and Lauri, and they're still putting 30 on the board every night.
Still putting numbers up. And Lauri with 38 minutes, David, he's averaging about 21 shots a game. He only took 18 tonight and still get numbers for you at 30. He's just a great shooter, and he made some tough shots here, but I don't think that any other player, well, there's a lot of players in the league that can make shots, but his shots seem to be sometimes tough because he's catching and he's shooting where he catches the basketball. He might be going to his left or going to his right, but he's able to get those shots off and does a good job.
All right. Who are the Jazz notes tonight?
I gave it a lot.
Okay, let me hear them.
I got Lauri, obviously. Nurkic, 11 and 4, 5 assists, 11 rebounds, ended up with 16 points. Obviously, Keyonte. Collier, I think, changed the game, especially in that first half with his speed, and ended up with 8 assists, 9 assists, 14 for Kevin Love. I thought his threes in that first half really gave the Jazz a chance to increase their league. And then 20 points there for Sensabaugh. Those, I'm not giving those because of the high scoring. I'm just giving those because of when they changed the game and things they did during the course of the basketball game to make it better.
Jazz win it tonight, 131-129, a fun night. We actually are flying to San Antonio tonight. We'll get in at 3:30 in the morning. I don't know who goes tomorrow because that's a lot of energy and a lot of effort. We come home, get 2 days off, then Boston, then start a long road trip. So we'll see where Nurkic is, where Lauri is.
Don't worry about Lauri, though, with the back-to-back with that growing,
So we'll see what happens and who goes tomorrow. But the Jazz get a great win tonight, 131-129. We're back home on the 30th against the Boston Celtics. Get your tickets at utahjazz.com. If you want more on the Jazz game and you missed any of it, Utah Jazz podcast. We'll have the Jazz game rewind for you later tonight. Thank you very much for tuning in today. Have a wonderful night.